Okay, we're going to talk about how to plan your lighting circuits. So the AS3000 2018, the guidelines I'm using here in Australia, what we've got is a guidance of 0.5 amps per light fitting. Now it's a guidance. Lights today with LEDs do draw a lot less power. It's a good idea to use the guidance though, just in case someone switches out the light to something else. So if I'm going to use a 1.5mm cable for my lighting, and I've got a 10 amp breaker on it, that means I can get 20 light fittings on that guy. So 0.5 amp is one light, 1 amp is two lights, up to 10 amps, that's when you get your 20 lights. So when you've got, say for example, you've got a bedroom, and then you might have a series of bedrooms, maybe a hall and a lounge room somewhere, just an idea. And we've got say that's all our downlights inside the house. How to plan that run out is we've got 4, 8, 12, might put all of those on one circuit. And the way that you run your circuit, you actually have a bit of a choice. You can power your light switch, or you can power the first light. I'll give you an example of what I mean here. Say you've got your 4 downlights here up on the ceiling, your light switch. You can run your 1.5mm cable and go down the wall to provide some power, come back up the wall, go off to the next room and power the next light switch, and so on. Then at your switch, you have another 1.5mm cable that comes up, hits the light fitting and goes off that way. That's powering the switch and only using 1.5mm cable. You use a little bit more cable going up and down the wall, but that's one method of choice. Another one that you can do, use a little bit less cable, is imagine that's our lights, that's our switch. We can come along and we can power the first light, run along to the next room, power the next light. Then at this first light, you have a 1.5mm twin cable that goes to the first light, and then you have your 1.5mm twin and earth that goes off and catches each light from there. You're using less cable and you're only having one twin cable coming down the wall. I'll show you an example of this. Here's an example where we've wired simply just this one cable here that switches, and if we look up at the roof, we've got, you'll have to come probably on this side, you've got your power outlets there ready for the downlights, strapped and not sitting on top of the beams. That's an important one. Ready to go so you can plug those downlights in. I use that method because it was a lot less cable. Sometimes though, if you are not wanting to run that, you might actually run and power your actual switch in this method. So here's my twin cable, and then from there I'm actually looping out and powering those other circuits. All right, so you can use 2 different methods. Make a choice either way, so that way it's consistent throughout the house, and plan out your loads appropriately, so that way you have, flip this around, so you have the right amount of circuits per lights. So we said before we have at least 20 lights on that one circuit. So here's circuit 1, might plan circuit 2, and then have another circuit from a lounge. And also circuits are your friend. It's a good idea to have more for fault isolation. At least if there is a problem, circuit keeps tripping, you're only isolated to a small area, it's a lot easier to find the problem. Okay, that's how you plan out your lighting circuits.